The Seeing Eye is established with the mission to train guide assist dogs to assist the blind. Eugene O'Neill Dynamo play premieres in New York City, New York, and the first Academy Awards are presented at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. The year is 1929, and this 4 or 6 cylinder car poppet valve car named Whippet could be had down at your Willys Overland dealer. But before getting into this one, I'm your host Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that features the machines from the past in mini documentary format, history, specs, design, with engine episodes sprinkled in. We also started a new series on the stories of the people and the companies themselves, planning on covering as many companies as we possibly can. We're going to try to do 2 a month. So far, we've covered the Willys Overland Company, as well as Duesenberg, Auburn, Cord, and just recently did the Thomas B. Jeffrey Company, which was the company before Nash. Nash is going to be the next one towards the end of the month, so you'll have that to look forward to. If any of that sounds of interest to you, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it so you never miss any of our videos. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I was interviewed for Crankshaft Magazine, which is a pretty big deal. A milestone in my life, if you will. I'm actually in a magazine. That's pretty cool. Anyway, thank you so much, Milton, for the interview. This is really cool. Thank you so much. And I wanted to share this with you. Crankshaft Magazine is a quarterly publication, and it feels more like a book than a magazine, and they have all of these articles in it. If you're into vintage and classic cars, this magazine could be right up your alley. I'm going to post the link in the description below for Crankshaft Magazine. Be sure to check them out after the show. 1929 Willys Overland model lineup. But before getting into all of that, for those that may have never heard of Whippet make of cars, Whippet was the entry-level brand over at Willys Overland. Yes, Willys is the correct way to pronounce the brand, not Willys. And to be 100% honest, I was in the Willys camp. I thought that's how you said the name. But I went to the Old Car Festival the very first year I ever went there, and I talked to Willys Overland owners, and I said Willys. And when I said that, the look on their face was just utter disbelief that I could consider myself a car enthusiast and not know how to pronounce it. It's Willys, and we're not going to fret over it, but that's what it is. Anyway, Whippet was produced from 1926 for the 1927 model year through 1931. The original intent for the Whippet was to replace the Overland cars. For those that don't know, Willys Overland offered both poppet valve and sleeve valve engines. They offered the poppet valve and the Overland brand, which Whippet took over, and they still offered the sleeve valve engines in the Willys model lineup. For those that are just hearing about a sleeve valve engine for the very first time, let me tell you, it's a totally different engine concept. They were dead silent. There was 2 sleeves inside the bore of each cylinder around the piston. The sleeves would open and close via eccentric shafts, which revealed different ports. Willys offered both poppet valves and sleeve valve engine choices. Discontinued for the 1929 model year was the Falcon Knight, which was Willys' entry-level sleeve valve car. It was only produced from 1927 through 1928, and it was an attempt for Willys Overland to try to sell more sleeve valve engines. They used Whippet bodies, but put sleeve valve engines in the chassis. 1929 Willys make lineup only consisted of 2 brands, Whippet in the basement, followed by Willys Knight at the top. Whippet was offered in 2 models in 1929. The 96A, which was powered by an inline flathead 4-cylinder, and the 98A, which was their 6-cylinder model. The Whippet could be had in many body styles, such as, but not limited to, 2-passenger roadster, 2/4-passenger roadster, 2 or 4-passenger roadster college, 5-passenger touring sedan, 2-passenger coupe, 2-passenger cabriolet, 4-passenger coupe, 5-passenger coach, and 5-passenger sedan. Let's talk specs. 109-inch in the wheelbase. This car weighs around 2,600 pounds. Price, $760, which would be equivalent to you spending $14,213.29 the year 2025. Total Whippet for 1929 production was 242,000 units. Moving on to engine, as far as the 98A goes, only one engine was available. 178.3 cubic inch displacement inline 6, 2.9 liters. It was good for anywhere between 40 to 50 horsepower, 3,000 RPM. Estimated 87 pound-feet or 117 newton meters around 1,800 RPM with a bore of 3 1/8 inches and a stroke of 3 7/8 inches. 7 main bearings. This engine was backed to a 3-speed manual transmission, theoretical top speed of just over 65 miles per hour. Whippet had some features only found in more expensive cars during that era, like the 7 main bearing crankshaft on the 6-cylinder engine, full force feed oil lubrication system, silent timing chain, and 4-wheel brakes. The 98A 6-cylinder powered Whippet did a 24-hour endurance run averaging 56.52 miles per hour at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a record speed at the time. If you're in the market for a 1929 Whippet 4-door sedan, I know a place that currently has one for sale. This car is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, where they got this car and at least 900 other cars currently for sale. When recording this episode, anybody can go peruse their inventory, whether that be online or in person. 4 hours of operation, directions, and to get the full scoop on this very car, be sure to click the link below after the show. Let's talk styling. Starting down here with what looks to be wood spoke wheels. How cool. This one's on bias tires. Going up to the fenders. Just notice the beadwork going around the fender and how it flows into the running board. The beadwork continues to flow as it connects to the chassis down there. This one has big, almost like it almost looks like they just took a piece of pipe and stuck on here for the bumper. Whippet right there, as well as right there. Super basic in how it's attached to the chassis. This one's got almost looks like a honeycomb radiator shell. Massive headlights. Here's my hand for reference. My hand is 7.5 inches long for reference. And the headlights are mounted to the bar that braces the two fenders. There's a Whippet badge right there. The modem meter right above it. Just look at all of the detail in that modem meter design. This one's got a butterfly hood, cowl vent, single piece windshield. There doesn't appear to be any windshield wipers. This one does have cowl lights. Here's a better look at the cowl vent. Taking a look underneath the visor, there aren't any windshield wipers. But it looks like this windshield does crank out because there is a crank on the inside. Here's a look at the visor. Side mirror is actually mounted to the inside to the windshield. This car does have drip rails, which start right here, and they run the cabin of the car. This one also has the chicken wire top. That's what's underneath this rubber mat. Just take a look at those running boards. Rear fenders also have the bead that's capping the perimeter of the fender, which kicks out at the back here. Notice the leaf springs come all the way to the end. And it's got two sets of bumpers, pipe bumpers in the back that are stacked with a spare tire in the center. Brake light that actually says stop. And that's the only brake light on the car. Here's your gas gauge. There's your gas filler. I stand corrected, there's another brake light on this side, but it doesn't say stop. Alright, so you can see this door is all framed out. Has this mohair material on the door panel itself. Door handle to get out, window crank for the big window, which operates like this. This door opens more than 90 degrees to allow plenty of access into the cabin. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, you have the clutch, brake, gas button, gear shift selector, hand brake. This bit here opens up the cowl. Just take a look at this interior. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood would look like. Rear view mirror. That crank opens up the window, the windshield. The windshield opens in this, and that's what that crank does. Looks like there's a very primitive ashtray over there. Starter button. There is a toggle switch for something I'm not entirely sure of. Might be for accessory lights of some sort. There is a key, oil pressure, amp meter, speedometer. Notice the numbers spin and the needle stays stationary with odometer below it. The rear door opens up quite a ways to allow plenty of access to get into the back. There isn't a door armrest on this door panel. Door handle to get out, window crank for the big window. Just look at how this door is designed. It has a really cool profile. There is a steel robe rail to hold on to or put a heavy blanket on in the wintertime. There is a privacy shade in the back. This car is all trimmed out in mohair. Like even the headliner. It's pretty cool. There is a recessed dome light in the center. This is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse or the pillar to glass ratio. It's kind of cozy in here, but I think that's what it was going for. And this is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. The back seat back profile looks super nice. The bench is rather wide. The floor does rake up in the back to act as a footrest. And notice, this car doesn't have a transmission tunnel. This one's got a 6-cylinder in it. Flathead 6. Distributors right at the top. It's got an updraft carburetor. Somebody put an aftermarket air cleaner on it. Steering wheel shaft comes in behind it. And look at all the wiring that connects into the bottom of it. It's got a single horn generator on this side. Notice the aluminum shroud. Coil is also on this side. Oil fill, where you fill the oil, is on this side. There is an oil can on the firewall. And it looks like a newer starter. On the positive side, tons of different body styles to choose from. This is a really cool car that gets lost in the fray. There is club support available for this car. Plushy interior, 60-65 mile per hour top speed is decent for a car from this era. Tons of space in the back. Against it, I've heard that the brakes aren't as strong as they could be. 60-65 miles an hour in a car that can't stop is plenty fast. All right. Now it's time for Would You Rather, 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1929 Ford Model A or 1929 Willys Whippet or 1929 Chevy International AC? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario. Both of these choices cost just a little bit more, but which one would you rather have? 1929 Erskine Model 52 or 1929 Willys Whippet or 1929 Grand Page G12? Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thanks again for everything that you guys bring in the comment section. I love reading the comments. I love reading the stories and the memories that you guys share. Until next time, toodaloo! Congratulations if you've made it this far. You've made it to the after show. This part of the video doesn't have any sound or commentary, but you get to see this car in all of its glory, up close and in person, like you can't see from far away, from pictures taken from far away. Enjoy.